Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. My name is Muhammad AFIF bin RAHMAT. My number 1203118. Today I would like to talk about introduction for our assignment. Workplace ethics differ from country to country. Cooperation, consultation, equity, togetherness and spirituality are all supported by Islamic work ethics, with spirituality being a prominent component among Islamic work ethic components. At work, following Islamic ethics fosters creativity, honesty and trust. The concept of Islamic work ethics in general are concerned with the relationships between man and his creator. It serves as a roadmap for an organization to improve its administration procedures in order to sustain success and quality. This discussion will also explain about the relevance and differences between literature sources and field studies in the form of interviews that have been conducted previously. This interview was conducted on AZ Printing Company located around Nina area in New Zealand. This interview took place with questions related to Islamic work ethic in general and specifically with the topics that our group had chosen.
In this section, we focus on the concept of oneness, the belief that there is no God but Allah and none is worth worshipping except Him. The equilibrium axiom to work ethic was also applied in the cooperation of AZ Printing Company, which is justice and equity. Muslim businessmen do not discriminate against employees, suppliers, buyers, or other stakeholders based on race, color, gender, or religion. In Islam, justice is prevail in promoting positive virtues like honesty, moderation, and generosity, as well as prohibiting evils like bribery, greed, and extravagance. Some organizations can go bankrupt because of the illegal activities of their employees, partners, or managers. An ethical employee is willing to make decisions and implement policies in a manner that demonstrate a genuine concern even when there are associated costs. As an employer, he must be fair to all his employees, regardless of race, ethnicity and tribe, and not be biased towards some of his employees. On the other hand, employees must do their job properly, feel motivated to put in adequate amount of effort, and not do things that violate the work ethic in Islam.
The concept of union in business means the merger and close cooperation within an institute or company that involves religion, culture, race, and racial differences. As a result, the term of equilibrium encompasses both the objective of equilibrium and the process of reorganizing production, consumption, and wealth and income distribution to meet the basic needs of the least privileged. The axiomatic principle of free will offers humans the ability to choose between right and wrong, knowledge of which is clearly provided in the Holy Quran and Hadith divine precepts. The concept of responsibility is very different from that practiced by AZ printing companies. This is because the responsibility applied by Mr. Aiman to his employees is based on shared responsibility, where the basic of the establishment of this AZ printing company consists of close relationship among friends. The word kindness in the Quran encompasses every area of human life, including doing good in topics connected to faith, worship, and muamalah.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is HANI LIYANA BINTI wa Muhammad KHADI. My metric number 1202919. This part will talk about nuclear evident axiom of Islamic ethical philosophy. Firstly is unity from Surah Al-Hujurat verses 13, which means all people. Indeed, we created you from a male and a female, then we made you into nation and tribe that you may know one another. The second is equilibrium from Surah Al-Isra verses 35, which means give in full when you measure and weigh with an even balance. That is fairest and the best in the end. The third is free will from Surah Al-Ma'idah verses 1, which means all you who believe fulfill all obligation. The fourth is responsibility from Surah Al-Mudassir verses 38, which means every soul will be detained for what it has done. And lastly is benevolence from Surah Al-Mu'minun verses 61, which means they are hastening to get good things and they are the one who immediately get them.
Aphorism of Islamic ethical philosophy. First, unity. According to Chopra, the ethical influence on an Islamic economic system is based on the principles of human well-being and the pursuit of a happy life, which are guided by concepts of brotherhood, socio-economic justice, and a balance of material and spiritual requirements. According to Islamic teachings, yielding to God's will provide practical direction in all aspects of human existence. Number 2, equilibrium. The Islamic work ethic suggests that labor is a virtue in light of a person's requirement and that it is a necessity for achieving balance in one's personal and social life. Islamic work ethic sees work as a way to improve one's economic, social and psychological interests, as well as to maintain social prestige, advance society welfare, and reaffirm faith. Number 3, free will. Despite the fact that man is entirely governed by Allah's creation rule, he has been given the ability to think and form judgment, to pursue any path of the life he desires, and most significantly, to act in accordance with whatever code of conduct he chooses. He also has the ability to choose whether he will act ethically or unethically.
Responsibility, according to Shaykh Amir Ali, is individualism is forbidden in Islam. As a result, he has been entrusted with the responsibility of looking after society as he lives. It is regarded as betrayal of God and His Messenger if he does not behave in accordance with the term of his responsibilities. Benevolence is the obligation to first do no damage, then produce short-term values, and finally create long-term value in defined as moral intelligence. The emphasis in Islam on bringing benefit to everybody and preventing harm to society is consistent with the definition of the moral intelligence and obligation.
Now for the conclusion, Islamic work ethics sees work as a way to improve one's economic, social and psychological interests. As Allah's vicegerent on earth, man has been given the freedom to direct his own life to some extent. Man is responsible to God for his actions because of his free will. In Islam, man's accountability to God is not limited to one part of his life. Rather, he is held accountable for all of his actions. According to Islam, trustworthiness is directly linked to responsible behavior. The emphasis of Islamic ethics is on responsible behavior and the production of societal benefit rather than selfish self-interest. Ethical behavior is defined by benevolence or ihsan in Arabic. Islam emphasis on creating a benefit for all and avoiding harm to society aligns with definition of moral intelligence. In conclusion, the Islamic work ethic is a guideline for an organization based on the main principles in Islamic teachings.